I always try to time it, but I think we are three. Oh, we're live. 3, 2, we're live. All right, family. Thank you for watching. We are live with Tala. Man, there's no format. I'll just say this: we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And I'm not doing Facebook Live only because I literally just finished doing a live broadcast for church stuff. So I'm gonna
Right.
save my family from that for today. But but
Again.
man, introduces Otala while I'm getting distracted by my phone.
Absolutely. For anybody who's unfamiliar, I'll do my whole intro that I used to do for Periscope. My name is Tala Smith. I live in Southern California in San Bernardino. That's the Inland Empire. I am an awareness advocate and I've moved more into motivational work. I teach taking back your quality of life with catastrophic illness and injury. I'm a systemic lupus patient. Was a heart patient as a result of that. It's all benign now. So I believe in knocking down diagnoses and a bad prognosis and all of that. So that's why I teach people how to take back their quality of life. Yep.
And what are we doing today? We're just talking, right? I think that's all
Just
we're
chat,
doing.
yeah. I mean, I'm fundraising for that trip, so that's super important to me.
So how are you taking donations? What
PayPal. In
people?
fact,
Okay,
I can send you the link if you want.
yeah, send it. I'll put it up on the screen. So
Yeah.
anybody that wants to like bless you.
Thank you.
I'm on my iPad trying to find my profile. It is so hard when I'm using multiple devices to remember how to navigate. Like I gotta figure this stuff out.
You sound like me. I don't know what I'm doing.
So on
There, it's in the Twitter DM.
okay.
Yeah, PayPal has been the easiest. I don't like the chunk of change that GoFundMe takes out of stuff. All of those services really take a big chunk, and it
What
doesn't
is
really gain
PayPal's
traction, you know.
what is
Um,
PayPal's percentage or cut?
it's really small. It's like I can't remember the percentage. Like somebody, I can tell you right now. Here, hold on. Somebody donated $20 the other day, and what I got from it is almost all of that. Let me log in and see it. It's one of the few passwords I can remember without looking it up.
And you just DM me the what you
Yeah,
call it.
yeah, it's
Okay.
in there. Yeah, I am. Say hi to Greg.
Well, I did message Janae earlier too.
The real Greg Lopez.
Hey, bro, I got so
Up,
scared.
boss?
Like who? Wait, I was like, who got in here? What the heck? And there you are, organically. You're looking good,
That
brother.
guy.
I added a few extra whiskers.
Yeah, so did I.
Just to Tom Selleck, look, now I've got the
Hey,
yeah.
I know you guys would appreciate this. So there's a company in Hawaii. It's called Nakoa, and they make these Polynesian. So there's Polynesian tattoos, and this is a leather
Oh.
bracelet.
Right.
And so these are by a natural tattoo artist. This one is a Maori. So if you know Louise Poppy, this is from her
Yeah.
country. The
Right.
tattoo artist is actually in her country, and they literally tattoo these leather straps, and these are like $20. So there's Native Hawaiian, there's
Wow.
Samoan, or better yet, Samoan. There's
Someone.
also
Salmon.
Hawaiian. Of course, there's Hawaiian. Yeah,
That's gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't log into it. I got most of that $20 though. It's not very much that they take. You
It's
remember
good. Hey, it's good that Jim's home.
percentage?
Yeah, I don't get home very often, but when I do, I like being here.
Yeah. Not
Bruh,
much
I feel you because I drive probably close to 1,000 miles a week.
Oh, that'd be a light week for me.
Yeah, I know it's light for
Last
you.
week
Like
was 2,300.
1,000 miles a couple days.
Yeah.
I won't even guess the fuel because diesel, right? And diesel's crazy to fill up one tank. Well, like $1,800
Yeah, but he
minimum.
ain't paying for it.
I'm paying for it, thank God. But average week for me is about I click close to 600 gallons of fuel.
600 gallons.
I don't
That's
even know how
crazy.
much that adds up to. What's it cost to fill the tank?
When I fill it at a truck stop, last time I filled it at a truck stop, it was $758 for about 90 gallons of fuel.
Wow.
Yeah. First
Yeah.
time I went with him on a truck, and he goes, "Watch this." And this was before the prices were so high because it was years ago. And I'm sitting there watching it going, I'm all, no, and what we used to do is, there were two tanks on the truck. And so he would slide one, we would fuel both. He'd slide one hose under the truck and we'd both fuel at the same time, get it done fast. So I'm just watching this thing ring, ring, ring. It's like Vegas, man, but you're
it's like
losing
Vegas.
instead of winning.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
I'll
I'm
let you guys
actually.
go. Hey, good
All right.
seeing you, Greg. I'll jump on and watch this thing.
All right. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Twitter, right?
Twitch.
Twitch, okay.
Yeah, Twitch. I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, I've got it installed.
Okay, cool.
Either or Twitch, YouTube, or hey, I didn't get the YouTube thingy. Did you? What did you send it?
Oh, the PayPal link.
Oh, PayPal. I mean, where did you send it?
Hang on, let me see. It's in your Twitter DM. Wait, it didn't send. What the heck? What is going on with this phone? Hold on a second. I wonder if I disconnected myself from the Wi-Fi. No, I didn't. That's weird. I should be able to send something. For some reason, it's struggling, and I didn't disconnect. There it goes. Did you get it that time?
Yeah. Yep, got it. So is it paypal.me/firstlightwarrior? That's it, no numbers?
Correct. Yeah, I rebranded from Mariposa Climbs over to First Light Warrior.
Let me create a banner.
Cool.
Shoot. I'll put it. No, I'll scroll it on the bottom. So PayPal. Mia. First. I'm bad with typing. So I don't know if you know, if you go onto either it's iTunes or the Apple Store. What do they call it? The Apple Store? What do they call it?
Yeah.
iTunes, Apple Store.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess it's both. It is the Apple Store, but yeah, iTunes is theirs. You can tell I use it a lot, right? I don't.
So that's it, right? PayPal.me/firstlightwarrior.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. So
I have to
that's
take my
for.
glasses down to read that close.
We'll make it scroll for a second. Let's see. This hide. Edit. There we go.
So while you're figuring that out, I'll explain the trip. The event that I'm trying to get to in July is an annual speed bag gathering because I got into the sport. Hang on a second. This is my smallest speed bag, so this one's easy enough to see. This is a gLO Reyes bag. So
What's the weight? What's the weight on that? It's curious.
Ounces.
No, ounces is heavy. I've boxed before. Ounces is heavy.
Yeah, but I'm used to that because like the way I learned is more boxer style. What a lot of people are doing now in the art/sport is they're using these really light bags like Jim Bradley and a different kind of swivel. I have a U-bolt swivel. And so what they're doing, I mean, that bag can go really fast. I mean, it's so light that it bounces back it's very responsive. So I have a heavier one. I started with just a cheap one, and then I moved to one that's made by Meister.
Okay.
And then the gLO Reyes. Yeah. So the one I have the most hours on, and like most of my first 100 hours is the Meister. This one, you can tell I've used this one a lot. It's well loved. The name is wearing off. But yeah, they're all leather. I'm very particular about that. So that event it's a very large event. It's a big deal. It's at the Real Gym in Keyport, New Jersey.
You say the Real Gym?
No, it's not spelled like your name.
Oh.
In fact, Jim is spelled Gymm. Yeah, it's got two M's.
The Real Gym.
Yeah, Real Gym. And I got into the sport because of my fitness buddy Kyle. He competes, and he did place last year. He didn't take first place, but he did place, and I am super impressed with that. He's very fast. He's in the, if I remember right, the 500 club. He can hit 9.5 strikes per second is what it breaks down to. Can
Is
you
that fast?
imagine? Yeah, it
I don't know.
strikes.
I'm not a boxer, so I
Well,
don't know.
here's how he said it to me. So count one, Mississippi. I just hit you 9.5 times. That's fast.
That's if I let you, right? Of course. That's if I think after the first hit, I'm like, dude, what the heck? What are you
That's
doing?
enough.
I'm not gonna let you hit me 8 more times.
One
Hey, let's say
season.
hello to our Twitch family. Brother Mike, and of course, Trucker Trash. Who's Trucker Trash?
That's
Oh,
Jim.
Jim. We got of course, we got Brother Mike,
But
and he was in Hilo. Okay, good to see you
but
guys.
this system doesn't bring the comments from Twitter. It doesn't compile the comments and bring them into Twitch, from what I saw. I
Uh,
wish it did.
no, mine does. I'm
Well,
a
on
stream.
your
I'm
end,
in
yeah.
StreamYard.
If you got that. So for
I
me, it
think the
does.
one the Jim uses is different. No, Twitter it doesn't. But Twitter, I have my Twitter open on my iPad, so I'm kind of like
Yeah.
doing a sneak attack with the iPad over here. So
Yeah, because I tried to jump into Chicago Jim's broadcasts from Twitter, and I was like, nobody's responding to me. I realized he can't see me. Yeah, that was before I downloaded Twitch.
I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna practice. We'll talk about Twitter and Periscope, but I'm practicing my product placement. I am not sponsored by Gerald Steiner, but they are man, I'm gonna tell you this. So today is day 7, and I don't talk about this because number one, I don't need validation. Number two, I don't need anybody giving me advice that I'm not asking for. Periscope is coming back, brother Mike, in a different light. But so I started the carnivore diet, and anybody that's been following me for a while, diets are like I've always done diets, like, but they were never to lose weight. So if you don't know me, my natural body weight, my body wants to go back to about 130. That's what I should be, technically speaking. When I
Yeah.
started bodybuilding, I'm doing all kinds of course, all types of drugs that help your body metabolize proteins, and so there was a point where I was eating, and I just finished a discussion with a friend of mine before this. Like I was eating 4,500 calories a day minimum, and I was still losing weight. I could not, and I'm not talking about just to get fat. I'm talking about actually building
No.
muscle, and that's where I was. And I was, of course, I was, doing, illegal substance, whatever, just to get my body where to increase. And so, anyways, now that I'm on this carnivore diet, bro, it's crazy. Uh,
I actually added back in select types of meat that I stopped for 4 years. I actually do eat poultry again. I had to because just in recovering from 2 rounds of 2 different strains of COVID, I was not recovering.
mhm.
I just wasn't. And I dove back into hard workouts and my body was screaming, I don't have what I need. And I went, well, I know that my digestive system can tolerate poultry. I already knew that. I just by choice didn't eat it for a while.
Yeah.
And for a while, she says, 4 years. That's a while. But it's agreeing with me as long as I'm selective. I'm not going to Kentucky Fried Chicken or anything
Mhm.
stupid like that. I don't do that to myself. I can't. And
This is what I'll say to
lamb.
anybody that I will tell everybody this, like, man, don't condemn yourself if you like make a mistake because that's
Yeah.
what makes you quit. And
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I was before I started last week, I literally was drinking, and I still could, no problem. Uh, at minimum 3 Red Bulls a day.
Oh,
And
jeez.
hey, but let me tell you this, like Red Bull, in my opinion, even though I'm quote unquote being a better steward of my body, Red Bull, in my opinion, is still the best energy drink out there compared to
Yeah,
everybody
it
else.
is. I will agree with you. I
In
actually like
terms
it
of sugar,
better.
like that's
Yeah.
my opinion.
And I
Um,
don't drink it very often. Like maybe, it'd be a few years and then I go, I think I want one. It's like that. I barely touch it. But
hey,
if I'm
Janae's
going
on
to drink one,
Periscope.
it's that.
I
What was
agree
that?
with you. Janae's on Periscope. Good to see you,
Periscope.
Janae. I see you, Janae. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how addicted, and I'm not saying in a negative way, but it's amazing how addicted we are without even thinking about it to food, not
Oh yeah.
necessarily sugar.
Hmm.
But, like, my daughter right now is cooking fried chicken, and I can eat that. Technically, I can eat chicken on a carnivore diet,
Yeah.
if it's a certain type anyways, but what I don't wanna do is eat it the way she's cooking it, and
Right.
so she's cooking with, whatever herbs and spices. I could,
Yeah.
it'd be no problem, but I just don't want because that's not the mission of why I did this, and so I do eat chicken. I do eat like if I do eat seafood, I want to make sure it's not farm raised. So
Yeah.
if it's
Same.
wild caught, I'll. But then I have another caveat to that too. If it's wild caught, um,
It needs
it
to be sustainable, right?
well, not just that, but honestly, I don't care about sustainable at this point. I just want to eat something. But I'll tell you this: I try to stay away from wild caught in China because there's a lot of Chinese companies that are wild caught, but Lord knows what type of waters they're caught in.
Yeah.
And China hasn't proven, and I'm part Chinese, so I get it. But China hasn't proven that they're reputable in terms of quality. So
Yeah.
they technically could let the fish out of their farms, let it get in the water for a few minutes and catch it, and technically that's wild caught. But
Yeah. And
because wild
I won't eat swai or tilapia, either one. I do not touch those.
what wild caught doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't farm raised, because they could have caught it in the wild after they raised it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's lousy that we have to be so detailed, careful, right? About every little thing. You got to watch that, I catch him all the time. Why are you drinking this, Jim? It's got sucralose. It makes you dizzy. It's a migraine trigger. It does all kinds of horrible things.
Well, do
But
you
he's
know
all, well, I didn't think
sucralose?
it had it in there.
So sucralose, they add uh, so basically the atoms are split in sugar. They add a chlorine atom
Yeah,
to split it, and that's how they get that sugar molecule or the sucralose.
right.
That's why it's so white, and I thought it was just a joke, and then I
Okay.
researched it. No, it really is like a
Mm.
chlorine molecule. That's
And
how they're able.
stevia products have been brought under question too because of how they're processed. And I hate the flavor of stevia. It tastes like saccharin, and I hate saccharin. So
There's the other one we have. I have it right here.
I'd
I
rather
like
just
this
consume
one,
cane sugar. And
but I
yeah,
don't like the alcohol that they use. They use
it's
it,
a yes and no, the erythritol. Yeah, they
but it tastes
all the
good.
monk fruit. Yeah, all the monk fruit has erythritol in it. So yeah, there's all these questions. Here's the thing. Most things I just learned to like them without sweetener, and it's better that way to me. I add unsweetened almond milk to my coffee, right?
That's why I did this earlier. I got so sidetracked, but because I don't drink any sweeteners at all,
Yeah,
none. I just do water, literally, and I'm probably oversimplifying water, beef, and salt, or
yeah.
water, meat, and salt. And because I was drinking so much Red Bull, like so, Jordan Peterson. So you know who Jordan Peterson is?
uh,
He's the psychologist guy. His daughter is Michaela. You should know Michaela Peterson. She's the blonde, kind of pretty girl. She's been known to do the carnivore diet, and she got rid of all of her. So she has she had, check this out. She had autoimmune sickness, disease or whatever, and she's a huge proponent of this carnivore diet. And
yeah,
and I won't speak for her because she can speak for herself. But I will say what I saw is that she had to do something because she's had arthritis since she was like 12 or 13.
yeah.
Um, she's had all kinds of issues on
So
her
it's
body.
small to read
Every
it.
every You should look her up. She's really powerful, and her dad is Jordan Peterson. And they're the ones where they kind of got my attention because first I'm like, okay, because Jordan Peterson is very clear. He goes, I am not recommending this diet for anyone. He said for anyone. He says you got to do due diligence on your own and figure out what works for you. But he
Right.
said his depression was gone, autoimmune disease gone in his daughter, clinical depression. They were both diagnosed, gone. Like they don't have those anymore. And it's not that it's a miracle thing. It's just that that's what they did to get rid of those things. Um, but anyways, going back to the whole elimination of not just sugary drinks. any. I don't, bro. I don't have any. I don't eat anything sweet. I don't have fruits. Nothing. Just meat, salt, and water. But Jordan Peterson said this. It was so powerful because Joe Rogan was like, "So you don't drink anything? Like you don't drink juice or apples?" And so Jordan Peterson, no, just water. Um, and then Joe Rogan goes, "Oh man," in the mic he goes, "Oh, that sucks. It's still water." And then Jordan Peterson said, "No, there are." And Jordan Peterson goes, "When you're where I'm at, there are 4 levels of water." And I thought about it, and he's right. You've got, um, you've got dry water, which is straight tap water and purified. What do you want to say? There's hot water, and then he said there's, uh, basically like bubbly water or whatever. And then there's like
Filter.
mineral water that is like, so I tried it. So I got this water, right? Gerolsteiner. And then there's of course Perrier, there's also San Pellegrino, but this is by far my favorite. I am kidding you not, bro. Listen to this. This water is sweet,
Oh yeah.
but only to me. Because when my kids drink it, they're like, ugh, what is
And
that?
see,
Ugh.
I have not. I stopped drinking tap water probably over 30 years ago because every time I would drink tap water, I would get sick. And people are like, oh, that can't be. I'm like, I know my body, okay? And I realize that there are problems with plastic containers, but what are we supposed to do? You know, there are only certain choices that we can, you know, you gotta choose your battles,
Mhm.
right? And so I do better with, you know, I do have like a Brita filter pitcher. But there's only so many times you can stand there and refill it. You know what I mean? You're like,
You
are we
know,
done yet? Are we done yet?
where we live here, so we're in Central Oregon most of the time. Well, I am, half and half. But when we go back to Hawaii and we go back, this is the first month. So we've been going back every month or every other month. And
Yeah.
so most of the time we're here, I think. But then we have a well and the water is
Oh, yeah.
ice cold all the time.
Well water is amazing.
But
Yeah.
I don't even drink that because I just have weird, because when I boil water, all that
Right.
mineral deposits are on the pan. And I'm thinking,
Right.
I don't know what type of minerals that is, so I should probably get it checked before but everybody
I
else
would.
in my family drinks it. I just
I
don't.
mean, even like, even if you've had a well for a long time and it's your property, they recommend periodic testing just to be sure because you never know. Things can change, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I can tell the difference. Like, I can't just go buy whatever. Like, Crystal Geyser, I don't like it. But
Oh,
it also depends on
that's in
where you are.
California, right? The Crystal
But
Geyser?
yeah, and it depends on whether in Northern or Southern California. It's different. It's
Uh,
different sources. Yeah.
I'm not gonna use strong language, but that water is trash.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. So I can't, I'm very particular. Yeah. I mean, like, and like, this is controversial because, you know, alkaline water, you can't drink it all the time. But I'm aware of that. I know a number of people who hurt themselves drinking nothing but alkaline water. You can't do that. But
Mike
it's very gentle on my throat. Okay.
so Mike
So,
put Penta water. So let me share a story about, because Penta at one point was the highest alkaline you could buy consumer. So Penta had to change their label and their branding. And so
okay.
when my firstborn son was born, he had all kinds of crazy allergies, and so basically, what we literally did. I'm not even kidding. We would spend, I want to say, minimum $200 a month just buying Penta water, and we would buy
Wow.
cases of it, and that's what we would use to mix his formula because he was rejecting breast
Okay.
milk. But the Penta water was, I think, was at least 8.8 or something like that, 8.5, whatever it was. But for some reason, they had to change they got sued. There was a lawsuit against Penta. But
Probably someone who drank nothing but alkaline water.
so why is alkaline? You said it was controversial. Then why
Well,
is that?
because if you drink it constantly, and I can't remember the specifics about it, but I mean, there are systems in your body that are designed to be acidic. You can be too far one direction or the other. And then it becomes debatable. It's like, well, once you consume it, doesn't your body compensate? And it's like, well, it depends on how much you were drinking. It's just like you can actually drink enough water to kill yourself because you'll flush out all of your sodium. You need those electrolytes to survive. So if you're drinking more than what's recommended, a mass amount of water, you need to compensate and get some salt in there. Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on what you're eating too. That affects
Yeah.
everything.
But you know what? Like all the doctors will tell you, don't add salt to your food. Well, here's the thing. I don't eat a highly processed diet. So unlike most Americans, I'm not getting mass doses of sodium. I have to salt my food, especially as a dysautonomia patient. If I don't add salt and other electrolytes, I don't feel well. So, yeah, I mean, most people are eating fast food, potato chips, and all of that stuff, and opening cans, and they're eating a very high sodium diet. I don't. Yeah.
I'll pause for a second and say hello to Brother Jim in Chicago. Good to see you, brother. Of course,
Hey,
Brother
Jim.
Mike, Pilot Mike. Of course, we got the real Jim, Truck or Trash, and also Janae as well. I think Janae is going in and out of platforms. But here's a question: so, like, if a doctor tells you what to do, what is their background? Like, what do they look like? What is, you know what I mean? Or are they reading journals?
Say that again, because there was a glitch. There was a pause. If a doctor tells you what,
So, if a doctor tells you what to do, what's their background?
and I'm on the
Other
good Wi-Fi.
and you know what I mean? Other than reading journals, you know what I mean? So, Pilot Mike says he's been doing keto. You are just
I'm
a
not sure if
little
I'm losing part of the audio. Yeah.
on your end. You are a little bit pixelated.
Yeah,
Just letting you know.
that was weird. I'm not sure what's going on with it. We have the new router, and this phone is on that. So I'm not sure why. So I didn't get that whole question. That's what's going on. It's stopping you every time you say that. All I'm getting is if a doctor tells you what to do.
Well, basically, is it with the doctors? You know, when we go to a doctor, what are they telling us? Are they telling us what they're walking through or been through, or are they telling us what they're reading in medical journals?
Medical journals, if
Hmm.
that, you know what I mean? I mean, you got to remember too, the doctors are not just going from the basis of their education, right? A lot of it is what?
I was trying to answer the question for you.
No, a lot of it is he walked in here to tell me what you were saying. um the insurance companies kind of dictate how they respond. And I know this for a fact because I had a doctor who had a big mouth, and he had a medical student with him, and he was wanting me to go for a test that I didn't want to go for. I said no. And he grinned and he looked at his student and he goes, "She's going to mess up my scores." And I went, "Excuse me?" That was when I learned. So these insurance companies pressure the doctors, "You need to make sure this patient does this." Well, I always say no. I'm all, "Go ahead, label me non-compliant. I dare you. Go ahead." Because it's my money, it's my body, it's my treatment. I get to decide. And this is
Hmm.
one of the things I've had to teach people about advocating for yourself. You're in charge of your healthcare. It's your choice. So, fortunately, right now, I have a doctor who is, I've trained him well, but he's actually invested in not just, I want my patient to be well, I want my patient to be happy. As the previous doctor I had said to me, "I can write whatever prescription I want to. I can't make you take it." I said, "You're right. Right away, write whatever you want, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go fill it. I'm the one making the decisions." Now,
You ever heard of Matt Walsh?
I know the name.
He he politically, people may see him as someone that leans towards the right, but I don't know. I don't care about the affiliation. He may be, he may not be. I know he's definitely not leaning towards the left in terms of the political spectrum, but he is known for that documentary called "What Is a Woman?"
Huh. Okay.
And you never heard of that documentary?
No.
Bruh, every parent or anyone that I think everyone should just watch it with an open mind. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
agree with every tactic or everything, but it uh put it this way, they put it on YouTube, they put it on Twitter, and he got like I want to say 300 million views within 24 hours
That is
because
wow.
Elon allowed it to be you know
Right.
uploaded because for a while you couldn't upload longer than 2 minutes on Twitter.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
um anyways, Matt Walsh had gone in front of a hearing. It was I forget what hearing it was, and these two doctors were questioning him basically and said, and by the way, I have two doctors in my family. One is a like a doctor of psychiatry, another one is like OB, obstetrician. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And so, and then my uncle was a dentist. He still is a dentist. And so I understand the relationship between medical and pharmaceutical. There's a difference, pharmaceutical and medical.
Yeah.
But Matt Walsh, they were basically grilling him on like what makes you an expert or an authority on the medical side, and they're talking about gender reassignment or basically cutting off genitalia off of children
Yeah.
and I mean it sounds gross, but basically cutting off a guy's penis and plastic surgery to make it look like a woman's vagina. And basically what they're saying, well, what makes you an authority? Do you have a medical? And he basically said, no, I don't. He says, but I know how to read.
Yeah.
And he said, the same material that I read is the same material that medical doctors are required to read,
Okay.
so, meaning medical journals.
Yeah.
Because not every medical doctor has experience in like, for example, I have a couple of good friends that they work in the medical community, but they're not doctors. And what they do is they go into the operating room with doctors, and while the doctors are implementing an implant, like what one of the sounds funny, but there's actually an implant. I feel like a Joe Rogan right now. There's a. Did you know that there is an implant that they have, and it's approved by the FDA? It's a penile implant. It's a small little microchip, and it's battery powered.
Huh.
They put it on the male genitalia, and in the middle, like when he wants it fully erect, like for real.
Okay.
And it's for so the lady I talked to, her company, they came up with this because there's a lot of men that struggle with PTSD and they cannot perform in the bedroom, and that's why they came up with this.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I went sideways in this, but anyways, so long story short, she has to go in the operating room with these doctors who are experts in their field of surgery, but they have no idea about this device and what it can or cannot do in terms of they don't know anything about, you know, specification. So that's why she's there. And a lot
Okay.
of these doctors are like, everybody's going like, what? I'm gonna put
They're
the pictures
doing
up.
the surgery and no clue what they're doing, really.
And
Huh.
Pilot might use his jumper cables. I'm not gonna ask what type of relationships you have, Pilot Mike, but we'll just say, hey. But that all goes to show that you, bro, there's medical journals out there that are public information that we can all read.
Yeah.
And going back to this whole, we started off with diet and talking about penile implants, but there's more than enough, and
You
I know
never
Pilot
know
Mike
what you're
asked.
gonna get with us.
Well, Pilot Mike asked earlier. I meant to address it. Like, well, what diet is Jordan Peterson? So Jordan Peterson is on called the carnivore diet, and I won't go into the whole story, but basically, the carnivore diet rids you of anything that is produced unnaturally. That
Huh.
includes plants, vegetables, fruits, all those things that are. And it's not saying that it's not healthy, or it's not to say that it's bad for you. He just chose to go that route to eliminate everything in his life other than just eating good quality organic pasture raised beef and just drinking water. And so that eliminated it's kind of like, in life you can go through different processes to see, okay, I won't eat apples because I get skin rashes, or like
Yeah.
my son can't eat bananas, avocados, he can't eat Man, he can't eat fish. He can't eat
Mm.
you name it. He can't eat nuts, tree
I
nuts.
had forgotten about that, but I do remember that he had pretty severe
So
allergies. It's been a while
there is
since
a
we talked
process
about
of elimination that you've got to do with people like that and go through the whole puzzle and try to okay, no, no. And after a while you're left with two or three or four things he can actually eat.
it. Yeah.
Well, Jordan Peters is like, I'm just gonna eliminate all of it altogether and just start from here. And that's kind of the diet he's on. I think he's still on it. I think he may have modified, I don't know. But I learned about it.
And
It's
beef
not
is
new.
one that I can't tolerate. Beef does not agree with me. And I mean the high quality pasture, I can't eat it. That's what I had to get rid of.
So that could be also chemistry, right? Also
Mhm.
depending on what your body
Yep.
has in it already. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm learning. It, like I've got to see this through. I've got another 3 weeks, and the only way to do it is just to do it. And I ain't gonna lie, brother. Today is the first time I had a solid bowel movement, and it's funny, but it's not. If I
Yeah.
didn't know beforehand, I would have quit. But I already knew
Right.
beforehand by watching
You would have been like, what
testimonials.
the heck is going on, right?
Well, because your body's like, dude, where's my fiber?
Yeah.
How am I gonna make this bug a solid for you? We've processed it. That's what your body's like. What the heck is this? And the other thing your body
I
says
miss
is,
your pigeon.
well, the other thing your body says is, bro, where's my energy coming from? You've been giving me sugar for 42 years.
Right.
You've been giving me bread, grain. You've been giving me grains. Where's my energy?
Now you
Is
have
it
some idea what I went through ditching beef, pork, poultry. And for 40 days, you may or may not remember, for 40 days, I didn't eat fish, seafood, and I had no meat at all for 40 days. And that's the first time in my life, okay? I asked my mother when I started all that with the meat three. I said, Mom, how old was I when I started eating meat of any kind? I was shocked. Dude, I don't have kids, so I didn't know there's baby food with meat. And here's what Meat 3 said to me. He goes, is your entire nation suicidal? Why would anyone give meat to an infant? That's what he said. I said, I don't know. I don't have any. But I was like, I don't know, like 1 year old, some
wow?
food. That's so I ate meat for 50 years. So this person coming at me with go vegetarian, T. I thought he was crazy. I laughed. I laughed at him. And then not too long after that, I was like, yeah, okay. Because every time I backed off from the meat, I felt better. And then I'd try eating some and I would get sick again. And I was like, what is going on? Everything hurts. Yeah. So I I completely eliminated beef and pork. I do eat some poultry now, but I have not gone back to beef and pork and I won't. Yeah. So everybody's chemistry is different. That's my point.
I'm gonna show you a video of Kayla. I think you should look her up because how should I? I mean, look her up. I'll read her bio, um, because she had so much things going, and she had I think I want to say hip replacement when she was a teenager.
Wow.
She had what else did she have? Why is it going to images? She had maybe that's not her name. That is her name. I'll just play it. Let me pull it up. Okay, wait. I think I can share this. Let me just do this real quick. It's very interesting. Share
And I'm
screen.
doing really, really well, by the way. I have a flawless lipid profile.
Well, that's
I have no
important to
thyroid
get that done,
problem.
right?
Yeah, everything looks great on my labs. Yeah, I don't know. I may have seen her before. I don't know.
I don't know how to full screen this, but we'll just do it as is. Let me play it. All right. Are those my birds? Those are my birds, aren't they?
Yeah, it must be. I don't have any here.
Is it loud for you?
Kinda. It's not
Okay.
unpleasant.
All right. Let's play this. Just it's a short YouTube short.
Out of bed, my wrist buckled. I thought I have to do something because I'm worried I'm going to drop my baby. The arthritis was back. I was itchy everywhere. And I was like, how is this possible? If I'd experienced remission, why isn't that diet working anymore? And I cut everything out except for beef. And 2 weeks after doing that, thinking I'm nuts, hopefully I don't get vitamin deficiencies, the itch went away and my joints started to feel better. 4 weeks after that, I stopped crying in the morning. And 5 months after that, the anxiety lifted and I was back in what I felt was heaven compared to how I'd been living. All beef, all lamb, salt, and water. My mom went on the diet and her osteoarthritis went away. My dad went on the diet and he lost 70 pounds. He had psoriasis. That went away. I've talked to thousands of people with autoimmune disorders who've done similar things and seen similar results. I've been talking about this diet to spread awareness in hopes that the medical community can take something like this seriously. I was breastfeeding, getting out of bed, my wrist buckled. I thought
So that's just a snippet. And
Yeah.
just to really get into the
Wow.
meat
all
and
this
potato.
kind
I'm not
smaller.
gonna. I'm not condoning this in any way. Just want to be very clear. I'm not condoning this diet in any way. I just
Yeah.
that got my attention though, and
Yeah. And like I said, everybody's chemistry is different. You know, for me, I had to go a different direction. But you know, I'm okay with certain game meats on a limited basis. I'm very selective about that. And lamb is one of the things that I decided to allow back into my diet, and I've done really well with it. For one reason, conjugated linoleic acid.
mhm.
Okay. And that's supposed to help with weight loss. I don't know what to tell you, but
The
my
CLA does.
metabolism kick-started right after I did that, okay? So even though I'm building a lot of muscle, I dropped 8 pounds on the scale.
So
So
yes,
that
CLA
says a
does
lot.
that. CLA
Yeah.
is there's clinical trials on CLA. Like whenever like bodybuilders know this. Like I'm not resurrecting old photos, but like my profile picture, I was at that picture, I was 205, literally at around 11% body fat.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can do that. Even I don't care how good you eat, if you don't have like I was taking CLA by the pill form, so it's
Right.
kind of it
I
looks
have
like
that.
fish oil,
Yep.
and that's
It
legit.
works.
It's
Like I'm
legit.
wearing pants that didn't fit a few months ago, so it's working.
You know, if you want to know anything about anything nutrition that works or doesn't work, the best way, in my opinion, is you find a legit professional bodybuilder and you look at them when you'll know who they are because they are monsters above everybody else.
Yeah.
And you ask them, hey, would you mind asking, just ask them a few questions like, hey, like what actually worked, and they'll tell you like, because like even I was never on that level, but I did eat a lot of food and I learned over time what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Like of course your body type too. If you're ectomorph, which is more like skinny, body, burning calories all the time, yeah, you obviously don't want to be eating lean diet because it's not going to be beneficial for you. Now, if you and of course what your goals are, but if you're like a fatty, like a mesomorph, like I don't mean to be condescending, but if you're like a mesomorph or actually endomorph, which is more of the heavy set, kind of like what's that actor Jordan Hill? What is his
Mm.
name? I think Jordan Hill. Anyways, Arnold Schwarzenegger is more what they call a mesomorph or mesomorph.
Presumably. You
So,
know, I mean,
well, that's before the drugs. So before the drugs, he mesomorphs are they have a naturally bigger physique, not necessarily bulging with muscles, but if you take a mesomorph, I'm trying to get my head on the screen, and you take an ectomorph like me, and you give them the same amount of supplementation, the mesomorph will pack on more muscle just because their bodies are created that way. Different function, different body type. Now you would have to custom tailor the diet accordingly. Now you don't want to give a mesomorph too much carb to protein. Like for example, if I'm eating 3 grams of carbs to 1 gram of protein as a mesomorph, I'm gonna get fat.
hmm.
But if I'm like an ectomorph, you're gonna actually gain hopefully some lean muscle and still gain. But anyway, I don't know.
Interestingly enough, I've always been built very muscular. My mom commented about that when I was a baby, even she would feel my thighs and I was very solid. I lean naturally towards being very muscular. The only thing that stopped me for a long time was just lack of activity because I didn't feel well enough. Yeah. I have to work extra hard to build muscle now, but that's because I'm an autoimmune patient. But I don't know. A lot
Have
of
you
that.
done genetic testing, like DNA, like what you have in your bloodline?
No, but I mean, I know my family history pretty well. Yeah.
You should do one. I haven't done one. My wife has, and
My
she said the same thing. Well, it's not that expensive. You can find one for under $50, I think.
it is when you're trying to get to New Jersey next month.
Well, when you come back, but she said the same thing you did. Like I knew who I like. We both because we're in Hawaii. Like so, me, I'm Hawaiian, Chinese, Filipino. My wife is Hawaiian, Puerto Rican. That's what she always said. I'm Hawaiian, Puerto Rican. Bro, she gets this blood test. She gets her blood work done. We get the test back. Hawaiian, Puerto Rican, Samoan, and Tongan.
Interesting. Yeah,
And
there's
then there's
always
a
something that you don't know about.
well,
Yeah.
there's a little sliver of we say Popolo or African American. And it's
Oh.
always a joke, right? Because we always joke, "Oh, I'm part." But no, you're not. But my wife, I'm there's like a little sliver, and it's so funny. We both laughed at it, and we're like, so anybody that knows Polynesians, like Hawaiians, Samoans, and Tongans are not the same. Although they tend like Iam Tongi, if you know American Idol, the winner, the last
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's good for Hawaii, the Hawaiian one. He's not even Hawaiian, but he's from Hawaii. He's legit Hawaiian in terms of being from Hawaii.
Right.
But his bloodline is Tongan, Irish, and I want to say Samoan. I forget. But anyways, he's primarily
So either
Tongan.
way, he's an islander. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not Hawaiian. And there's huge differences in Hawaiian and Tongan.
Yeah.
Just they're separated by thousands of miles of ocean, you know? And so, but anyways, yeah, if you do that. Anyway, I'll take a break for a second. And guys, if on replay viewers, because we got people in Twitch that have been so faithful, so good, so faithful. But I'm gonna if you guys want to support Tala in her journey to is it Chicago? New Jersey. To New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey, right? And so
And this may be a once in a lifetime opportunity as far as some of the people that I could meet while I'm there. Yeah.
So I'll slide it up on the bottom of the screen. I got a bunch of church stuff on here. Where is it? You don't need prayer. Here we go. There it is. So PayPal.me/First Light Warrior. I'll put it up on my Twitter after we end. I'll share the link.
And it is like, if I'm able to go, I take pictures, I take video, I broadcast. It's to create more content as well. Yeah.
How much are you asking for?
Well, the sticking point right now is that about the best price I can find on a flight that won't be a nightmare is around $650, give or take. And that's still going through a discount site, but not with those self transfers, because that really scares me. It's too much stress. Some of those are as low as 300, but yeah, I don't need to be stressing about, am I going to miss my next flight? That's no. So if I can even pull in 500, that takes the stress off. Oh, there you go. One way or the other, I'm going to get there, but I need a little support. And I put most of my material on TikTok, like I said, but I cross share over to, I post my videos on YouTube when I get around to it, but they go straight to Instagram when I'm done with them on TikTok. So I use it kind of like an editor. That's my primary creative platform. But the thing I mentioned when I was live with Chicago Jim the other day is, yeah, I still do need to put a film on DVD. I have not been able to get together with my brother to edit to finish that because the last 3 years were a nightmare. I was very sick, and I'm just now pulling out of that. But in lieu of that, I've given an insight to what I've been doing and put my material out there free instead of saying, hey, I got a DVD for whatever amount of money. I've actually given back by letting people see what we're doing without asking for anything for a while. I pulled down my PayPal link for a while because I didn't need anything,
Did you say DVD?
Yeah.
Are you still going to make a DVD?
Everything is digital now. Don't even say it.
No, I'm low key making fun of you, by the way. Like, I can't even find a DVD player. I'm not even kidding. No, nobody sells DVD player.
You can
I,
buy them.
I mean, I can go to Amazon.
I'll have to learn how to do digital format. I get it.
No, if you're gonna make DVD, you start with digital. So skip the
Yeah.
last step and just transfer it to, dude. You can upload it to Twitter, but
Told you
only
I'm
make
out of the loop.
it available to subscribers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Twitter
I'm
allows
catching
you to
up.
do 1080p.
Yeah.
Like, I'll here's what I'll do. I'll upload one and I'll put it on my page, and so people can see, like, because I
Okay.
think what Elon is shooting for is people to use Twitter versus YouTube.
Okay.
And the fact that Tucker Carlson
Smart.
uploaded those videos versus doing it on YouTube,
Yeah. Right.
that's so funny. And low key making fun of DVDs. What the heck, bro? This is
One
like
way or the
2020.
other, I need to put a film out there
That
in whatever
that's like no,
format.
that's like people getting lost in 2023 when you look in their hand, they have an iPhone 14 Pro, which costs $1,400 or even more. You're like, how
Hey,
in the
I
heck do you
didn't
get
say
lost?
VHS. Give me a little credit.
It's pretty close.
I
Yeah.
am 55.
What does that have to do with it? I'll be 48 this year. I think I'll be 48 this year. What is
Oh,
somebody do the math on who I know we only got a few viewers, but somebody do the math. What is 2023 minus 1975? I don't even know what that is.
I
I'm
got a
pretty sure
calculator.
I'll be 68, whatever that is.
48.
40, yeah. So I'll be
Wait,
48
what
this
month
year,
is your birthday?
December.
It's December. I thought that. Like that kind of actually stuck in my head. I thought it was December. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Yeah.
So we can't do this show without talking about Periscope. So
Yeah. That's where we met.
yeah.
I found you on the map. I said, "Hey, there's somebody in Hawaii."
And let's be honest. Even when Periscope was full fledged, the video quality sucked.
Compared to what we have now.
It sucks really bad now, worse
Now,
than ever.
yes.
But even back then, if we're really honest, we weren't really wow. Are you broadcasting in 10? There's very few people that broadcast in high quality.
It
It's
actually
because they're
went downhill. Do you remember
yeah,
that? It went downhill. It started off better.
yeah. And I think what happened was like I think from day one there was really like I think when they did Super Hearts, that kind of gave
Yeah.
them a little green light on making money.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-bit gLO, more like 4-bit. I don't even get. But
They gave up. They stopped maintaining it. We know that. Chris could tell you that. You know,
well,
they gave
even
up.
I'm not gonna talk about what he did there, but even Joey worked for them too. So
Yeah,
this is
that's
this is
true.
post Periscope. So
Yeah.
I think anybody that worked for them will tell you that their work environment it wasn't even like it wasn't even corporate. It was like everybody kind of do whatever you want to do,
Right.
and that's funny because it's like, wait, how many employees they had? 8 at one point. The peak, I think they had 8,000 employees. And everybody was crying when Elon took over and he fired 80% of the workforce. And I'm like, okay, if he can fire 80% of the workforce and the app is still going, that tells you that okay, wait a minute, something's going on here,
Yeah.
and they're still functioning. That's a lot of people to fire.
Yeah. God, I miss it though. I miss it. Like it definitely could not come back at the same level of quality that it was before because that can't keep it. It's just like having a computer that's 15 years old. At some point, you got to upgrade the hardware because it's just not gonna. Like I literally had to ditch a computer at one point and get something new because it wouldn't run on the internet anymore. Okay, it
One
couldn't
thing
keep
we'll
up.
know, I will tell you this, one thing for sure that we can count on is that the performance is going to be a lot better. That's a
Yes,
guarantee.
it
Because
has to
for
be.
for Elon to look at himself and basically ridicule himself on live television, basically.
That was funny.
Part of that, what I saw, and this is just my take on it. I think he was embarrassed. Like how
Really?
no, think about it. He just spent 44 billion on this application, and he finds out that people have been live streaming on this crap, That's embarrassing. I
Yeah.
don't care who you are. That to me, that would be embarrassing. He can't just say, "Oh, that wasn't my problem." No, he bought the company, and only
That's
then he
true
know.
because live streaming has become, not to be, like make a pun, but it's become mainstream. Like everybody,
Well,
any platform
just
should have it.
think about it. If you spent $44 billion, and that was his first initial reaction months after he paid for the program for
It
the
was the
for the
first time
company,
he checked it out, huh? Yeah.
would you not be? I would be totally embarrassed,
Yeah, I think I would be like, what the
and
heck?
then I would be angry, like what? And then he sees the green light at the end of the tunnel where, okay, well, at least we still got the base code in there. That means you don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
So that's promising. The other thing that's promising is the revenue, because Elon will not do anything that doesn't generate revenue. So we know that there's going to be
Yeah.
revenue for everyone. And he's been very vocal about, I want to make sure that content creators get paid.
Yeah. And I appreciate hearing that because that's everything. This is what I do. This is what I know how to do. This is what I want to do. This is what fires me up. I
But
love content
now?
creation.
What's your Twitter profile? What's the name
Oh,
for Twitter?
Tala underscore no excuses. Yeah.
Let's see what's the future for Tala No Excuses on Twitter, because I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Let's see here. No, I like that photo you have. Let's look at it. Where are you? Those are my bulldogs. They bark at mystery sounds. So there's Tala. There you are. Can I zoom in? So I'm on my Mac. I don't know how to zoom. How do I zoom on a Mac? Oh, there we go. Is it zooming in for you too? Or
Uh,
it? No,
Not
it's not.
really. No. Yeah, that's one I took in my garden. I'm not gardening this year, and this would have been the year to do it. You can't predict these things, but it's gloomy. And this is like on these dates, I look in my Facebook memories in 2015, it was over 100 degrees already. Now it can stay like this as long as it wants to, as far as I'm concerned, but I should have been gardening this year.
So can you see my cursor moving back and forth?
No, but it's awfully small for me, and I'm still on single vision glasses. That's why I said I have to cheat them down my nose to see the screen. It's very small. I've been fighting the whole thing of what do they call them? Not bifocal, the other kind that's graduated.
The What do they call those things?
Ah, yeah, I can't remember.
It's not trifocals. That's for
No.
really old people. That's like borderline blind. No, it's like borderline. If you have to have
Progressive.
trifocals, you're borderline blind.
Right, progressives. That's what they call it. That's what the
Progressive.
next pair are going to have to be if my prescription changes again. I really stretched on this pair. It was like, no, let's just keep single vision, but it's not easy.
Oh, there. Do you see that where it says in a few weeks? I don't know if you can see. It's probably too small for you guys, but
Really small.
I know what we can do. Let's zoom out of here. Is it bigger now?
It's bigger, but it's still really small to me. Everybody else can
So
probably see it just fine.
it says that in a few weeks, Twitter/X will start paying creators for ads
Yeah.
served in their replies.
And I don't know what
So
that means. Maybe you can explain it.
so if you're a content creator,
Jim brought
basically,
me his new laptop.
so basically, if you're a content creator, you're going to get paid
Yeah.
for ads. And I don't know what their definition of content creator, because if you would have to be a Twitter, I'm guessing you would have to be a Twitter Blue subscriber. I don't know if that's.
Which, if I'm going to get paid, I'll pay for that. What
And
is it?
so,
Still $8?
oh yeah. So right here it says the creator must be verified and only ads served to verified users count. And so that's just Twitter. We're not even talking about Periscope, but that's kind of along the lines. If we do Periscope with ads,
Right.
so that's kind of what I think where we're potentially headed. That's what I see anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. If I'm getting paid for content, $8 a month is nothing to me. Yeah,
Let me show you. Here's another one. Let me look it up. Shoot, how do I?
You're seeing how this screen looks.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jim
I'm on
needed
there.
Jim needed a laptop for schooling, and so the company is paying for his schooling. That's such a blessing,
What kind of schooling?
I'm going to first thing I'm doing is get a certificate in people skills, people management, and counseling, and then I'm going for my associates in logistics.
Yeah,
Nice.
the eventuality, like, he's driving right now because that's where the money is, and we need that. And we really started very late in life as far as saving for retirement. We really don't have anything. We need to have something, and so we barely started on a 401k, with this company, because we used to have one, but we had to cash it out when we left Northern California. We lost all of that. It's like, but we started over with Walmart, and them paying for schooling is an extra perk. It's just amazing. And yeah, he's gonna work his way into admin eventually, because
That's
you don't
good.
want to be
I
driving
want
when
to
you're
get
70.
into. I want to be behind a desk and get into safety. And eventually, I even told the safety manager, it's like, I'm shooting for your job, dude. So he's like, okay.
When you get into your 50s, you're thinking about it then. I don't want to be driving a truck when I'm 70, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough when you're in your 40s and 50s. So, yeah, 20 years with the company, and he's going to want to be not driving a truck. But he'll have the option. This is the cool thing. He could work in admin and do all that stuff, or retire, whatever. He could still drive if he wants to.
Yeah.
See, he can take a shift and go, hey, I want some extra money, earn a little bit. So it's been a good thing. We worked 15 years to get him into that company.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
That was the direction that I've been planning on going. I had two relatives that retired from there, and
Yeah, he's what you call
I'm a legacy driver.
legacy, because the family.
Okay.
So this is good
And
things.
one of my uncles actually knew Walt himself, and he used to jump in his truck and go, "We're going wherever we're going today is where I'm going to spend my day." So
Now you know why when people talk crap about Walmart, I'm like, shut up, man. You don't know what they've done for us. The only reason that we still have debt is because my medical stuff was just,
so out of control.
yeah, my medical, and his too, to some degree, because he's been through some stuff, and he's diabetic now. So I mean, we both have issues that we're managing. And he
Type
had
2.
10 months, 10 months, type 2, 10 months of unemployment at one point. So yeah, we're still trying to pay all that down. That's what happens when you get sick.
Not to make light of the situation, but like if you was unemployed during the pandemic, man, you made some money. Just
It
being
wasn't
honest.
bad.
No, I actually worked through the entire pandemic. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
worked through the entire
He's an
pandemic.
essential worker.
No,
That's why. Yeah, that's why I was joking about it, because
Yeah,
put
I
it
actually
this
have
way.
a shirt that says I'm an essential worker. It's kind of a big deal.
Kind
So
of a big deal.
let me put it into perspective. So in Hawaii, if you were unemployed, you would get I think the max was like 7. What is 7 plus 9? I'm so bad with that. 1,600. So you would get 1,600 a week.
Yeah, 16.
Jeez.
I think that's yeah. So 1,600. So you
Well,
can
of
get
course, your
about
cost of living there. Yeah.
well, so half of that was federal. So if you remember, there's a federal stimulus for unemployed person, and it was for 1 year. So in Hawaii, it was a $900 additional. So people are getting paid $6,000 a month off of unemployment.
Here's a keyboard.
Telling him, don't set the laptop there. You just got it.
It's fine. It's not going anywhere.
So
Yeah, no, you get the 1,600 plus the 800. Yeah, they were doing something similar here in California. It was not quite as much.
Yeah.
It was 1,200, and you got a 600. And if you had a family, then you got an additional.
Yeah.
I think it was $1,500 per dependent.
and then if you was on EBT, I think in Hawaii, through federal programs, they increased it to 2,500 a month on EBT.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's why we can't get people to work now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you do the math, right? So you get 60 to 70,000 cash for unemployment, and you get another, let's just say, what is 2 times 12? That's so bad, right? So you get another 25,000. So
24.
you're getting $100,000 from government assistance. Who
Yep.
would go to work in Hawaii?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
And,
anywhere. Yeah.
and that's barely scraping by in Hawaii, because in Hawaii, if you make 80, I think it's 80, I just say 80, if you made $87,000, you're considered low income in Hawaii.
One of the few places with a higher cost of living than what we have here. Yeah. It's
Well,
stunning.
the Bay Area is higher than Honolulu. So the Bay Area, I think, is the median price of a home in Bay Area, I think, is at 1.5, or Hawaii is at 1.1 or something like.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, when we left, poverty level in the Bay Area was what, 60,000?
Yeah, about that.
That's what it was, but that was in 2003. 60,000 and below, poverty level. I mean,
Poverty level now in Los Angeles is 85,000.
oh my God.
So you see
Yeah.
the separation. There's definitely a separation that's been created, and I think it's orchestrated. We talk about
absolutely.
we talk
Absolutely.
about big pharma and medical community. It's all orchestrated, obviously.
And when you're single income, you know what that's like.
Do you want to do this, Brian?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. It's obviously we have an income, but there's two of us and the house payments, and we're not making car payments now because I paid my car off, but my car is 2011. Okay. I should be driving a new Chevy Colorado now, and I'm not, because the world fell apart and now I can't afford a new car. The prices are, even with discount because of Walmart, we cannot take on a car payment right now.
Check this out. I'm gonna share something with you. So I know
Yeah.
I showed your profile. Where's mine? How come I can't see it on mine? Okay, so here's mine. I'll share mine. You talk about money, right? So here we go.
Yeah. The stressor is he has to keep going because it's just him,
So this
So
is mine.
it's like, what do we do now?
I think you can see that. So let's take Jim out of the screen. So there is I'll click on I subscribe to people. So I subscribe to Elon Musk. I pay him $5 a month so I can get exclusive content just from him. And it's actually legit. And I'm not ashamed to say I pay him. Like, people are like, why are you paying him billion? Because I want to get the content. Like,
Yeah.
and then this guy, there is he's a fellow Hawaiian. So I subscribe to him for $5 a month. But he has, or
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. He put it up on here somewhere. He basically just got recently 100 subscribers. So
Huh.
at 100 subscribers for what is it, $5 a month? That's like $500 a month he gets. So
Yeah.
100 subscribers, that's like that's $500 that all he does is he goes in his computer, shares an article. He's actually good content. So that's why. And yeah, it's like, okay, I don't mind paying him because I get content. But then on the flip side, what I'm building, I posted to you today, is I'm going to start reforming how I spend my time on Twitter. And every minute I'm on here, it's going to be hopefully to give some kind of content for somebody to say, well, I enjoyed spending time with them today, or I learned something today, or like Greg made me laugh talking about instant switch to get an erection from a doctor in prescribed microchip on my penis. So if that was entertaining, would you please subscribe for $5 a month? That'll help me pay for my car payment that I want to buy. Let's be honest, like, we're not poor, we're not broke, we're not like multimillionaires, but my wife and I do have income. So I am the only income earner in terms of liquid money. But we have other things too. So we have a Turo business that we're working on as well, and we also have a property in the Big Island that it's not up and running. It's just land, and so. But if I'm going to be on Twitter, by God, I better figure out a way to make money on it. And so that's my thing. Even if I get 100 subscribers, to say, hey, it doesn't have to be $5. It can be $1.
Right.
You can
And I
set it.
need to be monetized in some way. So yeah, I need to move forward with that because I don't have an income. I don't. We have one income in the house, and that these days is dangerous. Like I said, if something catastrophic happens with him, we do have a lot of support from the company in it. Like, for example, he needs hernia surgery once he gets his weight down. That's massive. That is huge. That's a lot of time off work. That'll be covered, but he has to make sure that his ADP is up there. Because when
Oh
you're
yeah.
off work like that, you get paid your ADP. There's no extras. There's no, I busted my ass at work today to make extra. You're not getting that. It's less. So, yeah, that's a little scary for me. You figure I'm living with stress triggered illness. When he gets sick, when there's a sniffle, I'm looking at him going, what was that? Like, you're not sick. You can't be sick.
No, what you say is, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yes. I'm immediately shoving vitamins at him, going, take this, take this.
I
Take
tell
this,
my
like
wife,
that.
bro, like she has a sore throat. She had a sore throat the other day. And I don't tell her now. Like before, I'd be like, "Honey, what are you doing? You can't get sick.
Right?
What? What's wrong with you? Ain't
Yeah.
nobody got time to be sick." And you know
And I'm
what?
in
And
that mode right now of like avoiding people because like I have a trip coming up. Man, I pretty much isolated myself from everyone for 3 months before Yosemite. I was like, back off. Don't come near me. Where have you been?
well, without getting all spiritual on you, I am a pastor. We do have a church that, and we do preach, and we do believe in kingdom, what we call kingdom living, kingdom mindset. At the end of the day, take all the spirituality out of it. At the end of the day, we tell our body what to do.
Yeah.
Every single day, we tell our body what to do, either by confession by mouth, because you
Yes.
can look in the mirror every day for the next 12 months and say, you are a loser, you're ugly, you will never amount to anything.
Oh
Guess
yeah.
what? You will exactly do what you just told yourself.
That's right. You
And
tear yourself down.
the other side of it, man, you speak life over yourself. If you continue, first of all, your body receives it. And another part is you tell your body every day what to do by what you confess verbally and also what you put inside of it too. And I'm
Hmm.
going to firmly believe that Jim won't need that hernia surgery because, bro, we've been given stewardship over this body. We have the ability, power, and control to change the course, not just what we've been given, but even genetically. Maybe, like my wife, for example, there's cancer in her bloodline. There's history of cancer in her entire, like everybody has cancer. And I'm like, no,
Wow.
I don't care
Hmm.
what the doctor says because look, if the doctor said you can't have kids and we had to be on top of that,
Yeah.
first of all, he's a loser and he doesn't command genetics,
Yeah.
right? There's a reason why when I'm born, I may look like my parents, but I'm not exactly like my parents.
Yeah.
It's because there was another course that was created when I was born.
Hmm.
So, I'm gonna believe and firmly pray and believe that he won't need that. Like when he gets the weight down, like his body's gonna be like, you know what, let's go, let's take it another level. Let's fix this, let's heal this. My cousin had to have a hernia surgery, but my cousin's different. But he will be, bro, we will be sitting at a company cookout, like a family cookout. And he'll be, oh, cause I gotta go. I gotta go. I said, where are you going? Oh, I don't feel too good. So he starts doing this like with his stomach. I'm like, what are you doing? "Oh, I gotta push him back in. I said,
Oh
push what
no.
back in?
Oh.
So he had a hernia and he was dealing with it for years, but his intestines would pop out and we have
Yeah.
to push. It's like, bro, go to the doctor, man. What the heck is
Yeah,
wrong
that's
with you?
scary.
So he ended up having the surgery, but I'm like, bro, no. It's like at that stage, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can speak this one into existence, but I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hernia
And
is
it
legit.
can it can be very dangerous, It's something you have to manage. But I mean, you've seen me put this into practice in my own life, and I would say much more so over the last more than a year now than even when I was working with Dimitri, because Dimitri, he was just very much a drill instructor. I mean, he really drove me to perfection on training for that hike, and it was great. That was at the time, but I needed more than that. Like, it was a really quickly slapped together foundation. Most people would not consider 2 years of intensive training like that, and really 6 total to get ready for it. They would not call that quick. But the truth is there were still things that I needed to go back down to the foundation. A lot of it my mindset, and I just wasn't ready for it. And Me 3 was not that person. Okay, Kyle was that person. He came along at the right time when I was ready to hear it, because I was just like 3 years of struggling with, why am I not recovering? Why am I not back there? Why is my energy gone again? Why am I so fatigued? I just didn't know what to do. And he tackled it from that perspective. I start my day most of the time listening to a video on YouTube by Eddie Pinheiro, Your World Within. Amazing messages from him. And CT Fletcher sometimes, a lot of the motivational speakers. Coach Payne's one of my favorites.
Who would have thought CT Fletcher would be considered a motivational speaker? That dude.
It's
he
his
actually,
story, that's why.
well, he's the one that I got my one of my workouts from. Well, not workout. So I would go. There was a time when I wasn't getting any bigger, and so I would just watch a videos. I'm like, dude, this guy is retarded. He keeps yelling at this guy. But then, so this is what I adopted. I brought one of my cousins to the gym, because I normally work out by myself. But I brought my cousin, and my wife helped me in a couple times. But there's a time when my arms were not growing, and it's like, no matter what I did, I would work out to exhaustion. I would be in pain, everything, you name it. And I did everything right. But your body adapts to stressors a certain way. And it says, you know what? I
Yeah.
figured this out. I'm going to resist this. And I figured you out, Greg. And so I went to the point where, so I would do lat pull down or extend, whatever, it'd be anything with the cables. And I would tell my workout partner, I would say, you know what? I'm going to do, I forget what I did. I think it was like 20 reps. And first one, I'll set the first one, and I'll do 20 reps. I'll do like, just extensions, pull downs.
Right.
And after I do 20, pull the pin, slide it in. I don't care, because at that point I could do the full weight. I could do 295, no problem. It was easy. So it didn't matter to me. And so whatever the full weight stack, I say, I don't care. You want to go to the bottom, go to the bottom, pull the whole thing. I'll do extension. And so I would do 20, pull pin, 20. And it was like, oh my God. But once you feel the weight, I say, I got to commit. I got to do 20 no matter what. And I would do 5. So I do 5 sets of those nonstop. So I basically do 100 reps on whatever the weight was, based on your maximum, what you could do. And so can you imagine, like, I had no idea what the weight was going to be. So I couldn't plan for it. And that's what I got from CT Fletcher, was like, you do a lot of those and your body will like, holy crap, what are you doing? But I liken that mentality as to saving my kids. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the mentality is the
Yes.
workouts where you save your kids or your spouse.
If I don't do this, my family will. Yeah. I know
No,
what you're talking about.
I would visually. So I would do let's say bench press. And
Yeah.
so if I'm getting to the point where I can't push it anymore, immediately it wasn't a barbell anymore. It wasn't weights. It was literally a car.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, I cried the first time I would cry every time I did it, because I didn't want my kids to die.
Yeah.
And
And
what I
that's
was
strange to people who don't do this kind of
so
workout, but I get it.
what I'm doing is I'm pushing this car up into the air, and if I don't get this car off of this ground, it's gonna squish in my mind. It was psycho. You think about it. My kids were literally under this car, and if I don't get this car up off the ground, this car is gonna squash it, and their guts are gonna be everywhere. My wife and my kids, they're gonna die. If I don't get this weight off of my chest, it's gonna fall on them, and they're gonna. I was literally visually in my mind. They were right there with me,
Yeah.
and it's emotional, because if I couldn't do it, there's one time I couldn't do it. I just started crying. I'm like, and I'm sure everybody in the gym's like, dude, this dude's retarded, bro. It's just a
Well,
gym.
because people don't like they don't. Most people don't tap into that. Most people don't. Nobody understood, even when I had Dimitri coaching me. Nobody really. I had somebody say to me, this sounds really one-sided. Like, what are you getting from this? I said, are you kidding? Look at me. What am I getting from this? I'm getting that from this. Hello? And they're like, well, but but how many hours are you working out? I said, 2 minimum, 2 hours a day minimum for 8 solid months, 2 to 4 hours every day. Okay. Sometimes more, sometimes 5 hours. And they're like, why, aren't you taking a rest? No, because I don't have time to rest. Now, if people haven't done that and they don't have some kind of goal that they're focused on that's important to them, that's a passion, that there's something riding on that, then they're never going to understand why you have to tap into that way.
Yep.
And I've had to do that, and I'm doing that even more now. But there were times I remember trying to just knock out sit-ups, and I don't do sit-ups anymore, because that was the first thing Kyle ever said to me was, don't do sit-ups. I'm like, yeah, I know. I kind of antagonized my back issues, so that's out. Crunches are fine. You have to be conscientious of what your body needs with certain things, and so I don't do sit-ups anymore. But at that point I was, and I was even doing it to the point where I could put a weight on my chest. But there was days when it was like I would do 20 and just cry. It was like, I know I gotta knock out 100 and I don't want to, and I would lay there and cry. And Dimitri would be like, why are you crying? I'm like, this is hard. But if
You know what?
if you have to
Sit-ups are
try to get through it, you do that. It's
sit-ups
okay.
are from like the 80s,
Yeah,
like
I know. They're so bad for your back. They are. They just are. They just are. There's so many other ways to train your back. Your. It's not an ab exercise. We were deluded about that. I'll tell you how I figured out what sit-ups are for. Mitri said to me, gotta make your legs strong for the hike. I'm all, didn't he just tell me to do sit-ups? What's he talking about? So I did a bunch of exercises that hit my quads, right?
yeah.
And I was so sore. And I got on the floor to do sit-ups and went, huh. And I couldn't. I was like, sit-ups are not an ab exercise. He goes, duh. I'm all, my legs, I can't do sit-ups. My legs. So, we were very deluded about what exercises are. Mountain climbers. You think that's an exercise for your legs? It's not.
Mm-hmm.
All this, right? The first time I did 20 mountain climbers, and slow, because I'd never done them before in my life. I told him, I said, I'm going to hate you tomorrow, aren't I? He goes, maybe sooner. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm texting him going, I hate you. This was on fire. It hurt so bad. Now I can do mountain climbers now, no problem. But the first time, I was dying. We just don't know, if we don't put ourselves into that position and work our bodies, what are we capable of, right?
Yep.
You've seen what I've done. If I hadn't changed my whole mindset and approach, and that is why the rebrand, if I hadn't done that, I would still not be dropping weight. I would still not have rebuilt all the muscle that you can see now. I would still be stuck. I had to deal with this first.
So what's the next step for you now? I mean, obviously you want to get to New Jersey, but what's the next step?
Need to monetize, because I want to keep going with this. That's super important. You know what? Getting my weight down is important, but it's not because, I want to look a certain way. It's because that is for my health. That is for my life. And that was the importance of rebuilding the way that I am now, because this needs to be sustainable for the rest of my life. I can't keep dipping in and out of the disability, right? And so I need to get back to running. I need to be able to do all of that, because it's what keeps me functional,
I think
I need
being
to be able to
honest, honestly, giving people content and just say, bro, if you
yeah,
like it, support me.
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, everybody needs money, but if you see value in my content, you know, I don't have, I try to pull it up, but it's too far back. But there's a time when I was getting let's just say $150 a month from Twitter when we were, making a little bit of money from whatever.
yeah. I never did
And
make that much with it. Not in a month.
but a lot of it wasn't even like I didn't make a lot of that revenue wasn't from like my drone scopes, a lot of that money wasn't from it wasn't from all the scenic stuff. Because a lot of people will say,
Oh,
"Oh, you just did good because you had Hawaii." No, well,
no.
yeah, maybe for initial,
That wasn't
but
all of it though. It was
but
talking to people.
no, but I'm talking about like revenue. When
Yeah.
people sit there and they're glued to the screen and they like you, they will keep pushing that button.
Yeah.
They'll keep, and so I think the scenic stuff, the Hawaii stuff, kind of got me on the map. But really, what it came down to is if people like you, they'll stay. Because I've been through so many people that have beautiful stuff. But if I don't like them, I'm like, "I'll see you later." I mean, that's
Yeah.
cool, yeah. You know what I mean? It's like,
And
"That's
I've got
cool."
decent scenery around here. You saw where I used to go, Big Bear and
Mhm.
all of that. But it wasn't all that. Like, you know what I remember one of the times I was walking on the shore of Big Bear Lake and I was telling my story. And I had talked about how in 2006 I couldn't walk. And I had talked about my speech difficulties, the stutter that I used to have. And the absolute fear dealing with like being on camera and going live, that was hard. You guys got me to do that. And I remember you saying something. You said, and look at you now, you're walking and you're talking and you're on camera.
You know, it's funny you say that because I went live. So we do our church services on live as well. I was nervous, like what the heck, and I just laughed, like it don't matter how many times you do it, it's still you like you don't want a booger hanging from your nose. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? You just don't like. I
We
don't
all
want
had
to.
our moments, right?
I tell you, and I don't know what's happening, but I'm starting to talk like Mike Tyson. I don't know why, because I don't. Although when I'm on camera, I do, or if I'm being recorded, like, and I listen to myself. Why am I sound like I'm slurring, but a little bit of like a lisp. Like I realize it. Mike Tyson has a lisp. He's like, hey,
And
hey.
you've met me. I sound the same in person as I do on camera.
So I'm like, what's going? And part of it is my demeanor and my mood, depending. Like if I know I've got a mic and I got headphones, I talk differently. If I'm
Yeah.
in a room with people, then it's uh different. But I'm like, no matter how many times you've been doing this, you notice changes. And to me, I'm still nervous. Even when we first clicked the light button, I'm still nervous. I mean, that's why I said the whole countdown is to get rid of the butterflies. Like 3, 2. Oh, we're live. Okay, there we are.
You, when you sent that DM earlier, I had just sat down. I'm eating pizza. I'm eating my dinner, and I sent a message them all. Oh, it's Craig. I open it up. I'm all I'm shoving the pizza in my mouth, going, "Give me a minute."
Here's a promising thing. I will tell you this for Periscope slash Twitter. I don't care how they package it.
Yeah,
Everybody and their grandma is on YouTube Shorts, TikTok,
yeah,
Instagram stories. Everybody's on that.
yeah.
The reason why Joe Rogan got paid $200 million from Spotify. I don't know if you ever heard that story.
Um, I think you might have told it, but I don't remember.
You ever watch his podcast at all?
No.
Ah, you gotta watch it. You'll learn a lot. Because everybody else out there, including celebrities, they're doing these production videos, introductions. I love watching. I can't remember his name. He's a conservative. He's Ben Shapiro. I love watching Ben Shapiro. Um,
Yeah, I like him.
but even he goes and he'll stop. I don't know if you ever noticed. He's like, "Hey guys, I just want to pay my bills. I want to let you know if you ever get thirsty, make sure you drink Gur and Stein water. It's available on my website for if you want a promo code 20% off." He does that. But if you watch Joe Rogan never promotes anything that makes him money,
Huh.
but he makes millions of dollars off of products and sponsorships. He doesn't have to. And part of that he said was because somebody approached him on one of his shows and says, "Joe, man, you're so successful. Like, dude, you just sit in a room and you talk to Elon." He talked to Elon Musk for 3.5 hours in a
Wow.
room. They smoke weed probably for the first 30 minutes.
I was gonna say, I wonder what that was like.
No, but check this out. At the time, Elon Musk was the most wealthiest man in the planet. He's a CEO of 3 companies. Chose to
Right.
sit in a room with Joe Rogan for 3.5 hours. And so there's another guy that said, "Joe, I don't know how you do like, how do you get people to do this?" He's like, "I don't know. I just sit around, we talk." And it's like and so what that phenomenon is, people are tired of swiping through their phone on the iPhone 14 Pro and
Yeah.
just going swipe, 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 swipe. Okay, I don't like you. 10 seconds. I watch. People are
Oh yeah.
longing
Attention
for
span
what
is
we're
short.
doing. People are longing for what we're doing. They want to sit there and just watch us and learn something, maybe
Yeah.
laugh. But if they don't like you, they probably won't hang out.
Yep.
But part of them liking you is being transparent and being honest. People like watching screw ups. They like watching
Right.
Greg say something that he had to apologize for later. I've done that many times. I've had to apologize to many people in DMs. And I'm so sorry I said this about you. I didn't mean to. And literally, there was one time I was like, maybe I did mean to. That means I'm a bad person. And I did, man. I'm really, like soul searching now. Now I got to think about how I treat people. I literally had to have those conversations with myself and people that I hurt. But people love that. People love these extended conversations.
I keep
So
thinking back to one of my Periscope broadcasts when I used to go hang out at this cafe. I would get like hummus dip and various things, and people would always comment like, "Why are you eating during your broadcast?" Well, a lot of us did that. I was like, because I'm hungry, because we've been sitting here for 2 hours. Hello, you know? And somebody said something that made me laugh. And I'm like, I spit a little bit of food. And my friend Karen was in there and she goes, pure class. Well, shut up. And it's that kind of thing. You have to be able to laugh because everybody has done it. Everybody's had that
yeah,
moment.
I
Yeah.
think as time progresses, when I can justify, I'm gonna get a better mic. I have this fancy boom arm and all that, but the mic, I don't know, it was money wasted. But I'm definitely gonna get those fancy Shure mics that people like to use, and I think that'll be nice and
Yeah.
fancy. But we're gonna let's land our plane. But I will say that man, people are longing for this, and
Yeah.
I'll definitely promote your PayPal, and I think people need
Thank
to
you.
hear like why number one why are you doing it, and I
Yeah,
think
and I'm trying to focus my content more. I've been working very hard on that, which is why the rebrand. I actually, for every platform where I've got Tala underscore no excuses, I also have a First Light Warrior account. And the content there is a little more focused, like in Instagram, for example. I have that account. And when there's something, maybe there's a meme that triggers a thought or a photo, and I'll post that on that account with a very targeted message there. Sometimes I'll double post it. I'll put it on both. But that account doesn't have all the little things like, oh, here's a picture of my cat or here's what I'm having for dinner or whatever. It doesn't have those things. So I give people those two options as far as content, but I am trying to focus the content more in a really my broadcasting style will have completely changed at this point, purely because my mindset has changed. My message is different. I started doing awareness many years ago and drifted into the advocacy. So it was awareness and advocacy. Then it was, you know what, advocacy is more important. So it's advocacy and awareness. And at this point, I'm almost not even doing awareness work because why does it matter to me if someone who's not ill understands what it's like living with autoimmune disease? What's that going to do for me?
yeah,
Okay. Oh, you might donate to Lupus Research Alliance. That'd be great because 100% goes to research for treating the disease. That's fabulous. I support them. I don't support the other large organization because they're lining somebody's pockets. Okay. That kind of thing is great. But what does that do for me and what does that do for you? Not much. Not
yeah.
much. Okay. Because I'm not even using those treatments now. Somebody else may. Great.
hmm
That's fabulous. I applaud that. But what I want has more to do with helping someone else. And that's always been my goal, but I just didn't really know how. Now I know how. Because I can learn all of these things about taking care of my health and keep it to myself, and that's great for me. But, well, where does that go? So it has more value to me if I can share that with someone else. And I have seen this happen. One, I've had a number of people over the years tell me you stopped me from doing something desperate.
hmm
I can't even say that without tearing up because that's somebody who's still here because of what I said. And I understand that because I have my own past that was self destructive. I've been there, I've been in that pit. Two, I've had people say, I tried some of the stuff you were talking about and I'm actually feeling better. Okay, that's everything right there. Because if you don't have quality of life, where are you at? I know where I was, laying on the floor a lot of the time, not able to take care of myself. I don't want anyone to be in that position. So the value is in, here's what worked for me. Let me show you this. Put some effort into that. It helped you? Awesome. Keep going. Right? So now it's motivational work because I know what it's done for me. So that's where I'm headed with all of my content now, is to help other people get motivated and take back your quality of life. It still comes back to that. Take back your quality of life.
Well, I think you just pretty much, I was gonna say early on, was people don't care like how much you know, or they don't care what you've been through
Yeah.
until they know that you care about them.
Yeah.
And I think once they pick that up, then they'll listen to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's powerful. I think I'm gonna put this up on the screen.
And you saw me tear up. I mean, that's like, I can't, like I said, I can never talk about that without it hitting me emotionally, because I know who, to this day, I know who the people are who told me, you stopped me from doing something desperate. And one of them was very young. We're not talking about someone older. We're talking about someone young, way younger than us. A young person teetering on the edge. Yeah, that means a lot to me. And I still talk to them sometimes. They're still here because of that. Wow. Yeah.
Let's end it there. That's awesome to end on. Well,
Yeah.
we appreciate you. We love you. When I say we, is obviously me and my family and my wife.
Yes.
And for those that are watching, this is the end. The PayPal link, paypal.me/firstlightwar. If you want to support Jala on her journey, Hala on her journey, that is her PayPal link. I will post the links in my social media. Until next time, Tala, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll end it here, but I can still talk to you in the background once we end. So, guys, thank you. Make sure you follow all the links we share. See you guys on the next one. Aloha.
Thank you.